What's going on, fantasy owners and YouTube fans alike? Chris Pearson here, as always, with you on the Fantasy Football Stock Report. We have an official logo. I figure I've been on this, doing this long enough that we got to have something official, also known as the FFSR. So, I told you guys on the channel for the show this week that I would have one of my co-owners on the show, Nate, but he will eventually make his appearance. Surprise, don't worry. But the other one is also here. Matt, you guys remember from the season recap last year on the show, is also here, and now he's fully decked out in blue. Blue everything.
Go Colts.
And the hair. We are all in town for a high school football game tonight, so it's going to be kind of a really quick show. Just to let you guys in on what to watch for in week number 2. Also recapping week number 1. So a lot to get to in a short time, so let's get right in it. Let's first kind of pull up what happened from last week, starting with the quarterback position. Right off the bat, usually the usual guys did really well this past week. Matt Ryan, 36 Saints, and a huge win for the Falcons.
Yes.
I mean,
especially if you win at New Orleans.
Yes. I mean, and that was just a huge boost for them. He's going up against Cincinnati this week. In Cincinnati.
Tough place to play.
It is tough. I mean, it's especially with Cincinnati at home is usually a very team. But, you know, I still think he's a safe play. Yes. He's got his weapons now healthy, with Julio Jones healthy off the foot injury, with Roddy White.
He should do all right.
I think he'll be all right. Flacco has 35 total points now on the year. He was obviously on target last night in the big win for Baltimore, beating Pittsburgh 26-6. Huge win for the Ravens last night on Thursday Night Football.
Where was that one played at?
That was in Baltimore.
So
a huge win for them. Obviously, you're seeing great things from him. Again, maybe not as much like on an every week starting basis,
but a good solid backup.
But a good solid, option for you, exactly. Matthew Stafford had a big week. Of course, when you play the Giants, you're going to have a big week every single week. So
Didn't we say that last year? Start your lines when
they're playing. Yeah, when you're playing the Giants, anybody, you're starting them. 33 points last week. But this week, a much tougher matchup for Matthew Stafford, going up against the Panthers in Carolina.
Yeah.
And what? Yes. So a much tougher matchup for the Lions in Carolina. But do you still like him as a starter?
Yes.
Yeah, I certainly think he can work. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a little more difficult, but still you can rely on him. Love Andrew Luck this week.
Yes.
Love his matchup going up against the Eagles secondary.
Riddle D, as I call it.
A Riddle D.
Riddle D, Riddle Down.
I like that. But 29 points in the opening week. Oh. Yeah. All three of us.
Parental
owners. Parental advisory needed. Yeah. All three of us as owners. Yeah, it's going to be tight. There we go. Finally together in the same episode. You remember Nate from the earlier episode on a Monday, the Monday special from last year, and Matt, of course, from the season recap. So
they don't see you if they've seen me.
There.
We've got it.
So we've just been talking quarterbacks, Nate. We were talking about Andrew Luck and his great matchup this week going up against the Eagles.
And that's when you heard me say Riddle D, Riddle Dumb.
Right. He's projected for 27 this week, so definitely a big week from him. Obviously, you're also starting guys like Peyton.
He's projected for 31 against the Chiefs defense, which didn't look very great last week against Tennessee. Looked really awful. Aaron Rodgers against the Jets. Gee, I wonder if that's a startable matchup. That's pretty an easy one. Breeze against the Browns, 27. Stafford, 26 is projected. Ryan for 20. Usually guys that you can rely upon on a consistent basis. Colin Kaepernick had a great week against Dallas last week. Obviously, with the Dallas defense, again, anybody you're playing against, they were usually starting against Dallas.
but 23 this week against the Bears, and the Bears really weren't all that impressive against Buffalo last week.
Now our guy, Mr. Romo, is projected for 22 points against the Titans this week.
The Titans don't have a real strong beat.
No, they really don't, and so it was definitely. So I think that will be a beneficial matchup. Same with Jake Locker in the same game with the Titans against the Cowboys. Again, the Cowboys defense not that great, so you're safe with Jake Locker as well. Nick Foles, 21 points projected going up against the Colts. Again, the Colts secondary, nothing to really be full-blown impressed at.
Kind of like the Philadelphia D.
Yeah, that Monday night game is just going to be a shootout in general. If you have anybody in that Monday night game, you're probably starting them.
Unless you have their D.
Unless you have the defense. Yeah, not the DSTs. No, not the DSTs, because that's probably going to be an offensive war.
Where's it at this week?
Lucas.
It is in Indy. Yes, it is at
Nice.
Lucas. Correct. Yep. And the Colts usually are better at home as well.
In this quarterback segment, brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, yes. Andy Dalton. What do we think about Mr. Dalton this week?
23 original flavors.
23 original flavors.
Yes.
If there's only 22, not
All right. Dalton against the Falcons at home. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Dalton's not going to have that, though.
No. He's
He might.
he's projected for 20 points.
I don't know. I don't know if he hits. I say that
Have him
high
as
of
a
a
backup.
mark.
Right
Yeah. At this point, you're kind of getting into the backups. Cam Newton, first game back from the rib injury, didn't play last week. Now he's going up against the Lions, although at home. So not so sure. We'll have to see how that plays out. He's projected for 20 points. You can probably get away with starting him, but just be aware that he might not have the fullness week that we might expect.
The full Nelson Newton.
Now, Carson Palmer is a sneaky start this week for Arizona. Why? Giants. He's playing the Giants,
Started.
who suck. Yeah, so definitely go with You're safe to go with Carson Palmer. Any Cardinals? Palmer, Ellington at running back, even coming off the foot injury. Fitzgerald, obviously. Our opponent has Fitzgerald this week, so it's kind of scary. But
Who do we got to go against him?
Bryant, Hilton, and Boykin of Green Bay. RG3 against Jacksonville. Decent. Jacksonville surprised, though, last week. Did you realize they were ahead of Philadelphia 17-0 at half?
Yes.
And then Philly rallied to win 34-17. 34 unanswered. Yes. I couldn't believe that.
Boykin.
Boykin.
I wonder if they named him Boykin because he was boyking his wife.
Oh, my gosh.
There's that parental advisory.
There's the parental advisory right there.
Put your
Hit the line.
kids,
Yeah.
adults, put
Yeah.
your kids to bed. This is going to be an adult show. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you are 18 and under,
Yes, shut off now.
Oh, we don't want to do that. They'll lose views.
So RG3, I would say at least number.
Number 2. Not maybe a must start, but maybe more of a number 2.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson against San Diego, I'd say that's safe.
Yeah.
Even though San Diego's defense did well against Arizona
It's
last
at
week,
Seattle.
it is at San Diego.
So a little different. That's why the points aren't as high. But Tannehill going up against Buffalo, projected for 18.
Bench.
That's, yeah. Cutler's only projected for 18 against San Francisco. That's kind of surprising. But the Niners D
Is pretty decent.
is decent. So, again, more of a low 1, high 2. And after that, you're kind of getting into the guys who I don't want to touch this week. Guys like Ryan Fitzpatrick of Houston, Alex Smith going up against Denver. Hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no. That's a fantasy hell no right there. Josh McCown of Tampa Bay against that Rams defense, no. Phillip Rivers against Seattle, definite hell no. Matt Castle of Minnesota against the Pats, no. Eli Manning,
Oh,
hell no. Not until he proves himself. So at this point, we're getting into the hell no's. So at Eli, it's pretty much the drop off.
Yep.
Running backs this week. Obviously, the most projected is our guy, AP. 21 points projected this week. So against the Pats. So
Start him.
Yep, definitely start AP.
I'll kick your ass if you don't.
Really? You really think I wouldn't? We've had him before. He was awesome.
He's our Mr. Burku dude.
Yep. Arian Foster against the Raiders, definitely. 18 points projected. LaShawn McCoy against the Colts is projected for 17.
Speaking of Raiders, did
Yes.
you hear that they might be moving to San Antonio?
I did.
What?
I have read that. Yes. Yep.
Fill me in on that one if you can.
Yeah. The
Oh,
Raiders have
no.
had discussions with the city of San Diego to potentially move to San Antonio, Texas. You realize they played the O.Co Coliseum, which is shared with the Athletics.
Okay.
Their issue there, and Olbermann's talked about it, backs up raw sewage.
That was disgusting.
Yes.
Gross.
So the Raiders need to get the heck out of there.
Sorry, Raider Nation, but you need a new home.
Why
Yes.
are they in San Diego?
Oakland.
Oakland, but
So why
But
did
you
they
gotta-
talk to San Diego? If they're
no,
in
San Antonio,
Oh,
Texas.
Oh, you
Texas.
said San Diego.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I
Mhm.
really?
Yes.
Super-
Okay. I thought I said
Super,
San
Super
Antonio.
moment.
Again, I don't know why. I thought I said San Antonio.
But yeah.
But yeah. And Texas is a football hotbed, so any level, high school, college, pro, anywhere.
Can
So
they really support another
team.
team? Well,
All they have is the NBA, Spurs.
Spurs.
Well,
No
they
No
got-
baseball, no
I
hockey.
mean, in Texas, they got Dallas Cowboys and the Houston
That's
Texans
true.
already.
That is true. That is true.
So how is that market going to be if the Raiders do move to?
San Antonio.
San
Exactly.
Here's the
Antonio.
thing I heard though: San Antonio Spurs fans don't want him there because of the silver and black.
Right. That's
It's a
true.
straight
up.
That's true. That is very true. That is.
So that could spur lock them out of there.
Yeah. Speaking of also the Raiders, Nate and I, we watched the top 10 players
hated.
most fans love to hate, and the whole Raiders team was number 3. Wow.
For some reason. Guess who is number one, folks? For some
Yeah,
dumbass
Ray Rice?
reason,
No. Well, maybe
Brett-
right now.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre was number
the
1.
Number one most
Above
hated.
T.O.
Above T.O.
I put
T.O.
T.O. top.
T.O. was
How
number.
stupid.
T.O.
This
was number 2.
And
And
Favre
Brett
was
Favre
1.
was 1. Oh, he can tell you I was pissed.
He was hot.
I was flipping off my TV.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I was pissed.
The TV
Yeah.
does not get the parental
No. No. So anyway.
So
So
they said it was because he was so overrated and didn't
Whatever.
do so well.
Whatever.
rating. He won a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Give boy
And
credit.
had a
Exactly.
chance to repeat for a second one against the Denver Broncos
But-
in 99, I believe.
90.
98.
Might be
98.
98.
98 or
so
99.
because they beat Patriots in 97. So
Yeah.
but
99.
but yeah,
the Broncos
I mean,
Falcons.
but yeah. So I don't
Okay.
know. So
And
anyway,
2000 was the start of
That was
the
just a whole
Patriots regime.
mess. Yeah. So McCoy against the Colts is a safe play. Giovanni Bernard, Cincinnati against Atlanta. I love Bernard, dual threat running back.
Yes.
So 16 points. You can roll with him. Beast mode.
Sure.
Definitely not sitting him if you have beast mode. 16
Lynch.
points. Seattle, Lynch, who we had last year. You should know that.
Yeah. You know I don't know nicknames.
That's true.
I'm stupid.
Monty Ball is projected for 15 points
Money has no balls.
against the Chiefs.
Oh.
He was our fantasy nightmare last year.
He
Like
was
I said,
a-
Monty
he was
has
a
no balls.
Bust. But now that he is the full-time starter now, so but maybe that's why he's being projected for more points.
Is
but
he doing better now?
I think so. I think they said week 1 he was okay, so I think he'll be better. So we'll see. Jamal
Week-to-week basis.
Week-to-week base. Jamal Charles, even though he had an off week last week, I think he'll bounce back this week going up against Denver. That should be an entertaining game to say the least.
That's going to be an offensive
Oh,
threat.
and then speaking of bomb running backs,
Yeah.
Richardson still bombing
Yeah.
in Indianapolis.
It's a full-blown committee. I mean, with him and Ahmad Bradshaw.
That's
So you don't want to
ridiculous.
touch that situation with a 39.5-foot pole, okay? You don't.
If you touch it with the 40, it might be okay.
Yeah. DeMarco Murray should have a good week this week. 14 points against Tennessee. Forte, 14 against the 49ers. Should have a good week. Alfred Morris, again, against the Jags. Have a good week. Now, Eddie Lacy of Green Bay. 13 fantasy points. He will play this week. He had the concussion last week, but he has cleared protocol. So
Must not
that's-
have been
No.
It was mild.
It was pretty mild. So he will play this week against the Jets. Great matchup. Start your Packers. So he will be playing. He should be working.
Speaking of running backs, whatever happened to Kuhn?
He's still on the Packers roster. He's still their fullback. He's in Madden. He's in Madden 15.
Yeah.
So
You don't hear much of him.
no, you don't. Not for fantasy purposes either. He's a fullback. Fullbacks don't get a lot of attention in fantasy, but
Unless you had Michael Allstott
that's
back in the
true.
day.
That's true. Shane Vereen of the Patriots had 12 points this projected for this week as well. I lost the thing here for a minute. Lost my signal. I'm getting blown up all over the place. How can that be running back? That's wide receiver.
Earth to Echo Tone. Good movie. Very good movie.
Okay.
We've seen planes too.
No, just yeah.
Oh, it's like the Browns and Bengals playing in the toilet bowl.
Oh. Planes juice.
Or the Browns versus the
Raiders.
the
Those they both suck.
Browns versus the Texans with Schwab as quarterback.
Oh.
There's your toilet bowl.
Oh my gosh, this thing is like totally screwing up there. There we go. Okay. Against Minnesota, 12 points, good option. Spiller against Miami for Buffalo. Buffalo surprised last week, beat Chicago. I was not expecting that.
Say what?
Yeah,
Yes.
Buffalo beat Chicago. Yeah,
Wow.
that was kind of the stunner of the week.
I threw my phone across the room.
Yeah,
Why?
Bears fans are angry. I've seen them on Facebook too. They're ticked. They're angry. So that they lost that
Why?
game.
It's a football game.
I know, but Frank Gore, 12 points. Moreno for Miami. Sean Green of Tennessee, surprisingly, 12 points this week. But again, it's Dallas's defense.
It's not a strong beat, but it's still a beat.
Right. Other double-digit projections, Rashard Jennings for the Giants against Arizona. Mark Ingram for the Saints against Cleveland. We mentioned Ellington. Terrence West of Cleveland. Ben Tate, surprise, surprise, he's out for a few weeks, knee injury. So no surprise there. Terrence West, the rookie out of Towson. He will start for Cleveland this week against the Saints, so you'll get him in your lineups. Now Toby Gerhart, who we have from Jacksonville, is projected for 10 points, but questionable ankle injury. So you might not have his services this week if you're a Gerhart owner like us. So maybe not safe to play him this week. Just monitor his status throughout the week.
And then you get into
Right, and then the
A lot of
lower
people.
guys, yeah, Carlos Hyde, Zach Stacy, Chris Johnson of the Jets, Reggie Bush, going up against a Carolina D, Lamar Miller.
Then again, they could start him right at game time like they did Fitzgerald last
That's
week.
true.
But they
Or
shut
no, that was Ellington. That was Ellington at the last minute. That's right. And there's Bradshaw and Richardson. 6 points each projected. There's your committee.
disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely
Can I say
disgusting.
yak much?
Same with the Chargers running backs, Matthews and Woodhead. 6 points against Seattle. Disgusting.
Bring back a Marshall Falk, a Joseph Adai, Edrin James.
I would take Joseph Adai over Marshall Falk because he was a
Yeah.
dick.
Well, I'm just saying, running backs that would put out yards, not
Duds.
duds.
Yeah, not duds. Yeah. You want studs, not duds when it comes to fantasy football.
And the Colts have told
Joseph Adai didn't last very long, did he? Is he
No.
retired? Or
Free
is he
agent.
somewhere?
Free agent. He's not even on a
Why
roster.
would you not pick him up? He was good.
He was.
Get
Yeah.
this. Colts have a good running back for about 5 years, and then they lose.
And then they lose it. Yeah. And then they lose it.
And then they get another.
And they draft somebody, and then it's like, or they acquire them in a trade like Richardson and complete bustage. Big time bustage, you know.
Well, what they got?
We had ballsage last time, now we got bustage, you know.
Who'd they get rid of on defense? Mathis?
No,
Mathis
Mathis,
is out for the year.
yes. Well, first he was suspended, and then he tore his Achilles in a workout.
And
So
they got rid of
they got rid of Freeney. Yeah,
stupid move.
yeah,
Brasky,
Bill
too.
Polian,
yeah.
whoever owns the team now.
It's
You
still,
drunken
well,
driver.
no, Polian retired. It's Grigson and Mr. Drunken, Mr. Ursay.
Yes. Drunken driver.
Yeah,
Watch out, Mr. Ursay. You might hit a pole.
yeah. Watch out for that sidewalk.
Watch out for that Colts fan.
Watch out for that tree. Okay.
Claw.
Owner
That
of
was
the
a
jungle.
Greyhound bus.
Owner of the jungle. All right.
Why? Across
Why?
the street.
Wasn't Ursay put in jail?
No. He avoided jail time. He's on his license is suspended for a year. He's on probation, I think. But he can't be like around the team. He's like barred from the team activities. He can't tweet on social media. So Irsay has no Twitter. He can't. There's no Irsay Twitter right now. So
He has no Twitter.
Twitter, not twatter. What's twatter?
I don't know.
You said it.
Something he can't get from his wife.
I was just gonna say, I wonder who's keeping his wife happy.
Oh my god.
Is she available?
We just went in a whole different direction.
Yeah, this is why we need the parental advisory.
Yes, we just go on
Yes.
these tangents. Okay, wide receivers. Your obvious names: Calvin Johnson, Megatron, who's was insane last week against the Giants.
He's insane every week.
Yeah, even if you're playing Carolina, you got to start Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, he's going to do something.
Demarius
back
Thomas of Denver, same thing. Julio Jones, we mentioned, coming off the foot injury. Same thing, 16 points. Jordy Nelson, again, Packers, start him against the Jets.
Got to speed him up here.
I know. A.J. Green, Cincinnati, same thing. Our guy, Des Bryant, projected for 15 points this week. Yep, Des. Andre Johnson for Houston, 14 points projected. Again, Packers, Randall Cobb. Vincent Jackson of Tampa Bay, projected for 13 points this week. Malcolm Floyd of Arizona. So again, start your Cardinal. Falcon again.
Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald is projected for 11. Surprisingly, Floyd is projected for more than Fitzgerald. That's
Quite surprising.
Ah,
That is surprising. Yeah.
that's crazy.
Marshall's projected for 13 of the Bears. Sanders of Denver, same thing, 13.
Cordero Patterson of Minnesota. Interesting to know. Had a rushing touchdown last week as well. He's a wide receiver.
Yes.
They're using him as like a Percy Harvin mode.
Yes.
So that was
Kind of like
very
a
interesting.
wingback.
Wildcat.
Hybrid. Yeah, is what I would call it. Hybrid.
Yeah.
So 12 points. Deshaun Jackson of Washington going up against the Jags.
of
Yeah,
course.
12 points. Reggie Wayne is projected for 12 points. Our opponent has Wayne. Our matchup doesn't come down to Monday night because our opponent has Wayne and we have Hilton. So I hope it doesn't come down to Monday because then it's going to be a battle. So
Who gets the most catches?
exactly.
As long as we don't have Bay, I don't.
You know what? I
Okay.
like a battle though. It's like last week. Last week we were locked.
Locked. Yeah.
So it's like, where's the entertainment in that?
You like the close matches.
Yes.
You like the ones where your nails are biting and you're breathing hard and
Just as long as we win.
as we win. Yeah.
Smoking a pack of cigarettes.
yeah.
Do
Are we winning?
do you remember a few years ago, Colts and Pats for the
AFC championship? Yes.
championship game? I'm like,
No. Do you remember a couple years ago we were in the fantasy semifinal and we only won by 1 point with that fumble recovery
It's like, dear
with the
God.
Bears defense? Yeah, that was the nail biter.
Bears
No.
defense kicked it for us that year. Right?
Nail biter of the year.
Nail
Last
biter
year
of the-
probably was Purdue, Indiana State.
Yeah. The picture of you. Yeah, literally biting your nails.
This is how I look.
Yeah. Other than that, Fitzgerald 11 points. Jeremy Maclin Eagles 11 points. Kendall
Yeah.
Wright of Tennessee against Dallas. Alshon Jeffrey 11. Mike Wallace 11 points. Brandon Cooks of the Saints, interesting rookie to watch, I will say, 11 points. Speaking
Cooks
of Mr. Harvin,
or Cook?
Cooks, Brandon Cooks, Saints
Huh.
rookie. Percy Harvin 11 points. Crabtree 10. Garcon 10.
Harvard only 11 points.
11 points. That should be
Where's
more.
Kier playing?
Garcon is Washington.
Hmm.
So 10
became
points.
Indian.
Yeah, don't say the name. Don't say the name.
I mean Washington's team.
Don't say
I
the
tell
The
name.
you what.
Monuments.
I'm not saying the name, okay? I'm just going to say right here on the record, I'm not saying the name.
The Washington Monuments.
Wasn't it Overman that had some good names, or was that
Washington
Federals?
Federals.
I love that name, the
Yes.
Washington Federals.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
It just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, so for the record, I'm not saying the name.
The Nationists.
The Nationists? No, I don't think you could do that. No, not the Nationists.
The Monuments.
Monuments? That'd be
that was
good.
another one.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
Okay, he was saying it as a joke.
Right, as a
Because
joke.
Sportscasters and people won't say the name.
Washington presidents.
Yes,
He
yeah,
said-
that was one too.
that
That
was
was
one
one too. Yeah.
I tell you what, if they ever did change the name, not gonna happen. You can suck my balls on that one.
They've always
Dan
been,
Snyder.
They've
Snyder.
always been the
Yeah.
Okay,
and they need to stay the
Yeah.
I'm-
The Washington football
you know,
team.
I'm sorry, but Chris and I were talking about that when the whole news story broke out. They were the Redskins for since 1960.
Yeah,
In the
they've been a long
60s?
time. Yes.
Okay, for all those people that are suddenly offended,
Where were
stick
you?
a dildo in your ass.
Where were you back in the
Wow.
60s?
Okay.
Smoking that reefer. That's
Yeah.
what you're doing.
Uh-huh.
Out of your peace pipe.
Fire up a big old fatty about this big and
Show it straight up your. There
That's
it is.
their view, not mine. Okay,
Ah.
for the record.
hey, marijuana gets legalized. We're gonna shove it. In.
Hey,
Oh,
it is in Washington State, but not Washington D.C.
Right.
I know.
And finally, other double digits. Kelvin.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to go off subject.
Kelvin Benjamin, Carolina rookie. Hilton projected for 10 points.
Yeah.
Williams of Dallas. Edelman of New England. That's the last double digit. So after that,
Then the rest of you can just
Drop off.
sit on the bench.
right.
And then, of course, Vereen of New England.
Wolverine is
Yes,
insane.
come on.
Well, he's insane. But if only he hadn't broken his wrist last season, it would have been great for us. All right, tight ends. These are pretty obvious. Again, your top three. Gee, I wonder who your top three are.
Graham
Graham, our guy, Orange Julius Thomas,
and Gronk.
and Gronk. Yep.
Yep.
Those are your must starts, as always. Zach Ertz of Philly.
Ertz?
Interesting. Ertz. E-R-T-Z. Ertz.
He probably gets
Ertz. Shops at Hertz. Hey, I was just going to say. Get out of my
Hertz
head,
Reynolds.
man.
Hertz Rent-A-Car.
Hertz Rent-A-Car. Wow. That was just awesome. 11 points. So, again, start your Eagles against the Colts. Vernon Davis.
Who was a beast for us last year, 11
Till he
points.
messed us all.
Till he messed us up with the donut in the championship game. Yeah, donut.
Who was it?
Davis donut in the championship.
I don't want to score. I was going for the championship game. I'm donut man.
Goose egg.
Goose egg. Foghorn.
What do you have
Brought to you
to?
by 1-800.
D.L. Moody.
What do you have to stop at the police station to deliver his donut?
Oh! We're just rolling now.
We did. You knew.
You guys know by now.
You knew we were all gonna have fun when we get.
Oh,
to it.
absolutely. Greg Olson of Carolina, 11
Yeah.
points against the Lions as
Okay.
well.
These are projections.
These are projections, yep. Kyle Rudolph of Minnesota, when he's gets a touchdown, he's very relied upon, so 10 points. Delaney Walker of Tennessee, again against
Yeah.
that Dallas defense, 9 points. Dwayne Allen of the Colts, projected for 9 points.
Decent.
Yep.
For a
Jason
tight end, yeah.
for a tight end, yeah. Jason Witten of Dallas, 8 points.
Always
Reliable.
a good name.
Yes.
For tight ends.
Charles Clay of Miami, 8 against Buffalo. After that, kind of again a big drop off. You're not going to start Antonio Gates against the Seahawks.
No.
Only 6 points.
Would be stupid.
Yep. And again,
Stupid.
after that, no names. Yeah. After that, it's kind of no. You're not touching those
That would
guys.
be your Nimrod move of the week. if
Your
you
Nimrod move of the week. I like that.
Yeah.
Here's your stupid move. Here's your Nimrod move of the week.
Oh, I'm sure there's gonna be some
Oh, I'm
tuber
sure.
that starts them.
All right, real quick in these last few minutes, kickers. We have to start, of course, with Thursday night because our kicker, Justin Tucker of Baltimore, killed it last night. 14 fantasy points. A 2-touchdown advantage going into Sunday. I mean,
You can't go wrong.
no. I mean, 4 field goals and 2 extra points. We did have him last year. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
That's what-
So we got him back. So he's always been reliable for us. So
If you don't have Tucker, you all suckers.
suckers, Tucker suckers, yeah. But you could also have some of these guys like Mason Crosby of Green Bay
I
against
gotta-
the Jets.
I'm gonna do it.
You got to do it. Okay, you got to do it. Suck it, suckers! Suck it, Riverdale Phantoms. There you go.
Who is that?
That's our opponent this week.
Phantom.
The Phantoms. Yes.
Phantom of the Opera. It's going to get spider bitten.
He's singing a high note, holding onto his balls. There it is. There it is. There it is.
Oh my
We got him. We got him. We got him. There will be a moment we look back on in the season recap right there.
Oh my! Wow! We done crossed the line, so F it.
Yeah, right.
Guskowski of New England, 13.
Yeah.
Hauschka of Seattle, 12. Dawson of San Francisco.
Mm.
Shane Graham of the Saints.
Yeah.
Suckup of Tennessee against Dallas again. Suckup, Ryan Suckup.
I suck my cups.
Oh!
Speaking across the line, there you go. You're welcome. Blair Walsh of Minnesota, always reliable. Definitely a starting option there. Vinatieri, of course, 10 points.
Of course. Clutch, Mr.
Yeah.
Clutch.
Matt Bryan of Atlanta, 10 points. You've
Smartest
had him
move the
before.
Colts ever made, by the way, is getting Vinatieri
From the Patriots.
from the Patriots.
Yes.
He kicked our ass
Yes.
year after year after year, and then we get him.
And we kicked their ass.
Kicked
And
their
we
ass.
kicked their ass.
Yeah. Dan Bailey of Dallas with 10. McManus of Denver, 10. Nugent of Cincinnati. And
I
Catanzaro
wouldn't start a
from
Nugent.
Arizona. What?
I wouldn't start a Nugent.
You wouldn't start Nugent?
Troy Nugent.
Oh.
Yeah, they're small
This is his
men.
distant
Small
cousin.
men.
His distant cousin, Mike Nugent from Cincinnati.
What?
That's a joke.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if he's small, too.
Wow.
Hey, kickers usually do because they can't play
And then,
all
of
the
course,
time.
start your Arizona kicker against the Giants.
Hey, you notice there's hardly ever a black kicker? Do you know why? Because their wang would get in their way.
Oh, shit.
That's horrible. Wow.
Sorry, NAACP and all
Wow.
you.
We know you are well endowed. We don't want you
Wow.
having a tripping hazard kicking the ball.
Imagine that interview. Why'd you
Yeah.
miss the kick? I tripped over my dick.
Wow.
Sorry, folks.
Nothing to say.
Wow, and he's all over here like, what?
What? Yeah, exactly. All right. Finally, defense, special teams. Obviously, the obvious choice is Cardinals against the Giants. 13.5 points projected. Seahawks against the Chargers, 12.5.
Yeah.
Packers against the Jets,
Mhm.
12.5.
Mhm.
Broncos, 11 against Kansas City. That's interesting.
That's kind of low for defense, isn't
It is, yeah, but maybe they're expecting Charles to do damage on the ground.
And who
So
do we have?
we have the Panthers,
Okay. Against.
Detroit. Decent, but not great. Saints, 10.5 against Cleveland. That's understandable.
Battle of the Felines.
Yeah. Okay. 49ers, 10.5 against Chicago. Texans, obviously 10 against the Raiders. That's an obvious choice. Rams, definitely an obvious choice. 9.5 against Tampa Bay. Dolphins getting 9 against Buffalo. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Buccaneers, 8.5 against St. Louis.
How can you get a half a point?
I don't know. I guess they're just making
Half a
guess.
sack?
Half a sack. Yeah.
I don't know.
Titans 8 against Dallas. Dallas's offense still is good, so I want to go with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And then at this point, it's against big offenses. Bengals 8 against Atlanta. Now the Panthers, they are projecting for 8 against Detroit, so
Yeah.
that's kind of rough, but it's still a strong defensive unit. So, and then after that, these are probably guys you don't want to touch: Washington, Chargers, Colts,
702.
Giants, Jaguars.
Mhm.
Don't want to touch anyone below that point.
Well, anytime you play a New York team, go ahead and start it.
Well, yeah. So there's a lot of must-start choices this week. There's obviously not a. There's also a lot of ones you don't want to touch either. Wow, we have crammed a lot into a half hour. We have crammed information, fun, just a lot into this. A lot of humor into this half hour and a little more than a half hour. But thank you guys again so much for the support. And again, if you want comments, questions, feel free to leave them either on the video below or on the channel. As always, thanks to Nate
I
and
hate
Matt
to
for
know
being
their
here.
comments and whatever they're gonna.
They're
have
good. They're usually good. No, they're usually
I
good.
don't mean to offend anyone.
No. Hopefully, I don't get any crazy comments, but
And if you do, come on. Guess what? This is America. You can suck it.
all right. Good luck this week. Hope you guys get to 2-0 as well as we are at 1-0, and hope you all do the same. See you again next week for another edition of For Your Home, Your Team, Your League, and Your Game, the FFSR, the Fantasy Football Stock Report. Take care, guys.
Bon voyage.